I just got back from seeing Red One. I am a huge fan of Christmas action movies. There's, of course, Die Hard. Everybody has that in their yearly Christmas rotation. There's The Longest Goodnight. I feel like that is definitely underrated. So I was really excited for this movie. But unfortunately, I feel like it's a concept that was a really interesting concept and they had a great idea. But for me, it just failed in the execution. So I did hear a lot of people who left the cinema with me seem to really enjoy it. So maybe this isn't going to be one of those movies that the general consensus is it's bad. Maybe this is more of a personal thing. So this is just my 2 cents. It's not my cup of tea, but maybe you'll really enjoy it. So we have The Rock, who plays Santa's security guard, because this is a movie about Santa getting kidnapped. And The Rock, well, he basically is one of those actors who I feel like plays himself in every role. And he has that cliche guy that's about to retire, but suddenly his last job pulls him back into the game. Then we have Chris Evans. He's like this selfish career criminal, and he goes on this adventure that helps him to become a better man cliche. Don't get me wrong, I love a good cliche if it's done well. For example, they had that same sort of concept in a movie he was in ages ago called Cellular. It's such a weird movie to watch these days because it was back when phones were so different. But anyway, if you've seen that, you know what I mean. He plays the same type of guy, and that movie, he pulled it off perfectly. I think these two actors are really talented, don't get me wrong. I've seen movies that they're both in that I've really enjoyed. I think one of my favorite Rock movies is San Andreas, and he's a good actor when he's in the right role, but I feel like they just really didn't have that passion for the movie. Like, it felt like they just were here for the paycheck, like they didn't even really want to be there. So we have a Rip Santa. He works out, he goes to the gym, he doesn't eat too many Christmas cookies. Well, actually, he does, but somehow he doesn't gain weight. I guess Santa magic. I don't know. So the CGI, I would say that's one of my main problems. This movie has a huge budget. I think like 250 million, and the CGI is terrible. Like, where is all that money going? Is this a giant money laundering project scam? I don't know. And the set design does not feel like a $250 million movie. If you've seen that movie, The Santa Claus, which I'm sure had a much smaller budget, their North Pole was so much better than this. And I get that it's partly that they wanted to appeal to adults. That was a straight up children's type family, warm and fuzzy, whimsical Christmas movie. And this is more, action Christmas, but still, it wasn't impressive visually at all. And I feel like they really needed to pick a lane. It was trying to appeal to both families, children, adults, everybody. And it's the same problem I had with that movie Megan about the killer doll. I feel like there can be those rare movies, like I've seen some over this Halloween. I think it's called A House with a Clock in Its Walls and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. They're those rare children's movies that are also appealing to adults. But I feel like this wasn't that movie, and they needed to pick a lane, whether that's making it more violent and adding more of that adult humor and really sticking with that, or going in the other direction and making it more of a children's movie. But it just felt like it was trying to do both, and it ended up failing at both. Not to mention that this is a 2-hour and 15-minute long movie, as well as all the commercials and everything at the beginning, which here in Australia go for at least 20 minutes now. I swear they keep making it longer and longer. It's a pretty long movie for a kid to sit through. So we have Kiernan Shipka as the villain, and I think she's a good actress, but she was miscast in this movie. She's so adorable, and she's meant to play this really intimidating villain, and it just didn't work. Not to mention that her villain motivation was super weak and not really even explained well. And fine, like, we've seen villains that are really good with bad motivations, but it was just bad all around. And I feel like it just had no heart, no soul, no charm. Everything that makes a Christmas movie good well, I guess Die Hard didn't really have a lot of heart and soul, but still, it had really good action and humor, and this had a lot of action, yes, but it just felt so mindless and repetitive, and the humor was more miss than hit. And they had all these creatures that looked more like creatures that belonged in a Star Wars movie, not a enchanting Christmas type movie creature. I don't know. Look, I feel like this was a really interesting idea. They had everything they needed to succeed. They had a huge budget, talented cast, a unique idea. They had all the pieces of the puzzle, but they just couldn't put it together in a satisfying way. I would give this a 6 out of 10. Let me know what you think if you've seen it. What's your favorite Christmas movie, your favorite Christmas action movie? I'd always like to have some recommendations. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.